Hi, everybody. I'm Dawn. I'm your astrologer, and I'm here to talk to you about the new moon in Cancer, which occurs on July 9th at 18 degrees of Cancer. This is a new lunar cycle, a time to set our new intentions. These intentions will be centered around home and family and our emotional comfort. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon rules our emotions. So, themes around emotional security will be greatly emphasized and on our minds during this new moon. This new moon is happening on the heels of an eclipse season, a Mercury retrograde. Mercury has just stationed direct and is almost through its shadow. And so this is a time where we can take the information that was brought to light, some things that needed to be eclipsed from our lives with all of the frenetic talk and communication as Mercury moved through Gemini, and put our intentions into a place that is based in logic now. We have some information at hand, and now we can logically move from thinking to putting intentions based on what we feel moving forward. Cancer rules our emotions in terms of home and comfort and security. And so themes around our family and who we consider our family and where we feel secure will be brought to light. And this is a time to set intentions on how to create an environment that fosters and nurtures the emotional security that we desire in our lives, in our home, and with our family and with others. This new moon will be bringing up themes that came into play during the solar eclipse new moon that occurred in Gemini. And so now we get to think about, how do we feel about the information that we've been through in the past month? And what do we do moving forward? So this is a great time for setting goals that create an environment of nurturing for ourselves and for those that we love. This new moon will be opposing Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto is retrograding in Capricorn, and Capricorn is the old structures, the old past. And so Pluto really may purge some dynamics around power, personal power. We may see this play out globally. We will see a lot of tension between the old and releasing those structures. It also will offer us some great opportunity to have some emotional breakthroughs on a personal level. Pluto purges the truth of our emotions. So, the past month in June, Mars, our planet of war, our planet of aggression and passion, just moved through Cancer. And so this really triggered a lot of themes around traumas from childhood, from family, from our upbringing. And now Pluto moving through the past, through Capricorn, really allows us to do something differently based on those emotions that were purged. And we can now set those intentions according to how we want to be in our home and how we want to be in our family, not necessarily what was programmed, how we were raised, and that indoctrination of beliefs. This is a time when we can set intentions according to our beliefs that emotionally align with our higher truth. And in this opposition to Pluto, it's a loose opposition, but it's an opposition nevertheless. There is a huge opportunity for us to grow on an emotional level that fosters us in our soul's evolutionary process, really stepping into our truth and creating a home and an environment that's in alignment with our belief systems and creating our own new karmic cycles. A couple of other things that will be going on during this new moon is that Mars and Venus will be conjunct in the sign of Leo, the fire sign of Leo. Mars is very comfortable here, and he's very close to his cosmic lover. Mars is the divine masculine, and the sacred feminine is Venus, and these two will be within 2 degrees of separation during this new moon. they will have an exact conjunction 4 days after the new moon on the 13th. And so this closeness of Mars and Venus really brings up some themes of balance between the masculine and the feminine, and our emotional ties to our relationships. Now, Mars and Venus will be in a square to Uranus and Taurus, and they will be opposing Saturn during this new moon. Uranus is the revolutionary planet of change, the rebel, the maverick that shakes us from those places that we are fixed into, especially in the sign of Taurus. And Saturn is Lord of Karma, Father Time, the rules and restrictions. And so these tense aspects really offer us the opportunity to do some deep work emotionally in the dynamics of our interpersonal relationships. And so with this at play during the new moon, themes of interpersonal relationships, family, and how we feel emotionally allow us to break through those conditions of the past. And really, with this connection to Saturn, this opposition to Saturn, this square to Uranus challenges us to have some lasting changes, to do something different, to explore some new ways to communicate in our relationships, in our love relationships. It allows us to explore some new opportunities to do things differently than we've ever done before. To create relationships not based on how we were brought up that a relationship is supposed to look or a family is supposed to appear like, but in what works for us now in this time and in this age. And so this is a wonderful opportunity to explore an avenue that perhaps we haven't considered before. If there's anything that Gemini season did, is it gave us an opportunity with the North Node there, and the North Node still is in Gemini at 10 degrees, to really think about our future and look at it from a different angle moving forward. Consider, with that Mercury retrograde, consider our past upbringing, our past programming, and look at some new ways and explore some new ideas in our analytical mind, how we want to create our own lives moving forward, how we want to do it differently perhaps than the way we were brought up and the way we were taught. And so this is a great aspect for change, for shaking us from those places that we become very conditioned, and allow ourselves to create an environment that's probably completely unorthodox in comparison to past programming and idealism. So this is one aspect at play with Mars and Venus. This Mars and Venus conjunction during this new moon is really about balance in our relationships, in the masculine, in the feminine. We all have masculine and feminine parts within us. And there's a very yin-yang synastry available through this breakthrough energy if we can open our minds to doing things differently than the way we were always taught. Another thing that's going to be happening is that Chiron, our wounded healer in Aries, will be in a trine to Mars and Venus during this. And so by healing those wounds in our relationships, our traumas due to upbringing and programming, and breaking free from that, we can really move into a place of not only healing ourselves, but helping to heal others, becoming that healer ourselves and having that empathetic nature as we move forward. So Chiron trining Mars will also be in harmony to Saturn. Our wounded healer is sextile Saturn during this. And so this gives us the opportunity again for some lasting healing in terms of our wounded identity. Aries is the sign of self and our identity and the way we show up in relationships. And this whole Cancer new moon is really about, how do we show up for ourselves in emotional alignment and communicate with love, with comfort, with nurturing to the people in our lives. Saturn is in Aquarius, and so there's that interplay between what we desire and how we show up for others in the world and communicate that in harmony. I think we will see a big shift in our communications from this new moon moving forward, from that kind of hectic overplay of communication to a more comforting, nurturing, loving display of responsible emotion as we show up in our relationships with others. And Mercury, that has been retrograding through Gemini, is just about ready to leave and move into Cancer itself. So Mercury is at 27 degrees of Gemini. And so that communication is shifting. It's shifting from what we think to being able to really open up and speak about what we feel. And this offers a platform for connection, positive connection, instead of this almost hostile, tense energy that we have been feeling. Now, during this new moon, we also will have some harmony between Neptune and Pisces. And Pisces offers that spiritual support. We will be able, it's trining Neptune and Pisces, the new moon and the sun, which are congruent. And so we'll be able to have some feeling of underlying behind the scenes support. Our intuition will be heightened. We will be able to tap in and tune into those subtleties of spirit. And so this trine to Neptune during the new moon in Cancer really echoes that theme of being held and us being able to show up for others and give that same kind of spiritual support that we are being given by the divine, by the universe, by the energies at play. And so that is a beautiful aspect to consider as we set our intentions. How do I want to show up for myself? How do I want to be aware of the subtleties of spirit and how they comfort me? And how can I perhaps share that same aspect of healing and comfort and nurturing to others moving forward? So we have this ongoing energy between the old and the new, Saturn and Uranus, all year long. Saturn in Aquarius, the future, the collective, and Uranus in Taurus, which is the fixed earth sign of what I have. And how do we merge the two? How do we communicate our emotions in a positive way, in a way that honors ourselves and still allows others to be connected to us, even if they feel differently and think differently? And perhaps giving them some of that same spiritual allowance and compassion and unconditional love that we are receiving as we move forward. I'm hoping that, and I'm feeling that this will be a shift that we experience, especially in our communications. I think the tenseness will start to fade and the love will start to show up. This is an opportunity for all of us to really focus on our goals that support us feeling secure and safe in our homes, within ourselves, within our families, and then ultimately with others. Another thing with this Mars and Venus connection is that Mars and Venus and Leo during this new moon are highly creative. And so Mars could really motivate us to do the work, to get some things done, some projects around our home, to beautify our environment, to finish up our tasks that have been lingering. And to look at our home not so much as a place that we have been locked into and forced to be in, but now a place that we enjoy and that is beautiful and that comforts us. And so we can use this energy, all of these energies at play, to do some things, whether it's cooking a comfort meal or growing a garden that sustains us and provides the food that we need for our family. But this can be highly creative energy with this Mars-Venus conjunction during this new moon. And then, you know, if we take all of them into consideration, the trine to Neptune, the opposition to Pluto, it really is a call to do things differently, to move forward from a place of compassion, sharing our emotions in a different way, in a more gentle way, in the way of a water sign. Cancer is a water sign. It is ruled by the moon. The moon is the divine mother. It's Luna. It's the divine nurturer. And so that same nurturing and comfort that we desire for ourselves from our mothers, we are now being called to give that also to others as we move forward. And so what a wonderful intention that would be. And so these are just some of the aspects at play, and I wanted to take some time to share that with you.